Hey guys, I thought today I would show you my bullet journal, and I use a Moleskine for this, and it's a squared notebook. This one has 240 pages and it's 5 inches by 8¼ inches. And this one I bought in the States. I paid $18.95. This one I bought when we were up in Canada and I paid $24.95. So it's around those prices to get one. The Moleskine has a little pocket in the back. And in there they have just this little booklet. I think it's just about Moleskine, a little bit of history of Moleskine. And then it has the little strip that goes on the front. So I just kept that just so I'd remember which one it was that I'm using. And then I just got some of these in Halifax, the Martha Stewart reusable labels. So I just thought I'd throw a couple in the back there in case I ever needed something like that. So in the front, it has your information page on the front. So I have my real address under there. This is just my P.O. Box address. And then on this page I have a key, and this is how I just organize my journal. And it has, I do a box if I have a task that I need to do. When I complete it, I just fill it in. Moved items, I've seen some people do migrated items and they put the arrow into the box. I'm moving the item, so I think it just makes sense to put the arrow moving out of the box. I did a triangle for appointments. A star for special dates. Money out, if I'm spending, is just the $sign. Money in, if I receive money for whatever reason, is inside a box. And then notes, and then I just put a heart for date night. Scott and I try and do a date with each other once a week. And then I have table of contents. Some people call it an index, and I saw someone else call it a table of contents. I just called it table of contents, and then I rethought it and figured I should have put index, but whatever, it didn't matter. I was giving it too much thought. I did 3 pages for that. I filled probably, let's see, I filled about this much of the journal so far, so I still have this much to go. So I think 3 pages should be enough. We'll see how that works out. And this is where I keep track of where everything is in the journal. So I'll show you how that works in a minute. Then I started numbering the pages here. So this is page 1, and this is a year at a glance calendar. I wanted to have some sort of calendar in my journal, but I thought about it and I was trying to figure out, should I do a whole page for January and a whole page for February, but it seemed to go away from the whole idea of doing a bullet journal. So what I did was I made this calendar, and the way I spaced it was I did there's 2 squares along the top, and then each of these months is 7 squares by 7 squares, and then in between each one is 1 square spacing, and then 3 in between, and then the 7 squares again, 3 in between, 3 in between, and then 2 at the bottom. So I spaced it out. I did it all in pencil first and then went over it in marker. I just didn't want to mess it up. And I did 7 squares, and you can see most of the months you don't need that bottom line, but for March, August, and November you did need it, just the way the the days in the month fell. So, and I just wanted it all uniform, so I just did 7 by 7. And then what I do is, as the days happen, I haven't scratched out yesterday yet, but I just scratch it out with a pencil. Then I did a July tracker. Now, I've seen people do trackers in their journals before. I tried it. It doesn't really work for me, so for August I didn't bother doing one. But the way I did it was I just had the days of the week up top. I just left a space in between each week, and then the numbers. And so I figured I would track exercise. Now, apparently I only exercised 3 times in July. These 2 days in particular were when I was tearing my sister's craft room apart and helping her put it back together. So those were definitely exercise days. But it was just interesting to see, like, wow, really didn't exercise. And then I had eat, and I have a check mark or an X. So it didn't mean whether I ate or not that month. It just meant, was I eating well or not? And I have 2 days. I know there was more than 2 days that I didn't eat well, but I wasn't really tracking. This day in particular I wrote bagels and popcorn. So that wasn't a very good day. Then I have sleep, check or X, lot of X's that month. My back was really sore. It was really killing me. This month I've gotten into more exercise and my back's been feeling a little bit better, and I also switched my pillow, so I've been having some better sleeps. This night here, this was when we were away in St. FX, and it was a different bed, so I think I had a better sleep because of that. And while we were at Dad's, I was sleeping with our daughter Kerrigan, so she kind of kicks and punches you in the head all night, so that might explain some of these bad sleeps as well. But that night I had her sleep with Bryn, so that worked out better. And then this was a bad night. I had 3 hours sleep. That was the day we were flying back home, and you never get a lot of sleep that last night. And then I have feel, checker X, like how was I feeling? Well, the day I had the bagels and popcorn, I was feeling tired. So I'm trying to just track things like, what am I doing that's, you know, making me feel good or not, and sleep well or not, and whatever. So, and then I had bread. I was going to track whether or not I was eating bread, and I obviously wasn't doing that. I had my vitamins. I take a B12 and iron and a multivitamin, and as you can see, I wasn't very good at tracking those. I don't always take them when I should. And then shopping, I just wrote down the days that I had been spending money when we were away, and I was going to write down the totals underneath, and I just didn't do that. And then I have YouTube, I have GS, RC, and PC, which is Gus and Snoopy, Red Cardinal Crafts, and Pink Cottage, which are my channels, and I was going to mark when I was going to be doing videos for them. And you can see I didn't do it. But when you look back at my beginning here, so I have my calendar was on page 1, then my tracker, July tracker, is on page 2. So it's just a way to, you know, track where your things are in your journal. Now, I did put some post-it notes down throughout my thing. It's just, you know, I can't share everything with you guys. But here's the month of July, and this is why the bullet journal gets its name. Everything's just kind of written in bullet form. So here's the whole month. Some people do the numbers for the month down one side, and then on the right hand side of it put the letters, but I did the other way. I put the letters over on the far left hand side, just because I didn't want the letters of the week getting mixed up with my writing, so I just separated them that way. And then, so that's the, you know, month in review kind of thing. And then this is July tasks. So this was things that I wanted to do or needed to do in July, and I put them over here. And then I bring them over to the specific dates and just fill them all in here. And then on the side, I was starting to put, you know, whether it was an appointment or whether it was, you know, money or something like that. So that's the beginning of July. But then I didn't start writing out the days of the week for July yet, because what happened was we were on our Halifax trip, and I wanted to start writing down things that we were doing on our trip. And I had my travel journal. You may have seen this on my craft channel before. This is it's like a little travel sketchbook, and I keep track of, you know, our vacations, and I do sketches and stuff in there from time to time. And we were just on the go, and I hadn't done that. So quickly I wrote down what we had done. I didn't finish it off on here because I had managed to get caught up with my journal and fill it in the travel journal. So as you can see, this was page 5 and 6. So if I have my July month view on page 3, July task view on page 4, and then Halifax trip day by day was page 5 and 6. Still not at this point into the days of July, because I thought, well, why don't I do a shopping list and write down things that I want to buy when we're in Halifax, and then I wrote down what I wanted to buy when we were away in Boston, and it's just kind of my running list. If you've seen my most recent video, you see that we need a new barbecue tray, new drip pan. And then over here I had video ideas for YouTube. So those things are here. Shopping wish list is page 7. Video ideas for YouTube is page 8. So you just number your pages as you go. Then finally on page 9 I start writing down the days in July. I try to put a box around, you know, the day of the week. I obviously forgot for Wednesday and Thursday that week, but and then I just write down my tasks. Okay, I had to get groceries. I didn't get them that day, so I moved it on. I had to clean pets. I moved that on to the next day. Clean pets. I didn't get that done again, so I moved it on. It was over here Friday. I didn't get it done, and then I think I finally got it done that Saturday, I believe. I have no idea. But that's the thing, you can move your items. If you didn't get something done that day, move it on to the next day. But what you should really do is write it down first before you put the arrow through, because if you put the arrow through and then get down to here and start writing stuff and forget to move it down, you may forget to do that task, and it could be something more, you know, more important than cleaning pets. So there's July. I got as far as July 28th, and then another idea popped in my head. I had, let's clean and organize the entire house. So I started writing down, you know, every room in the house and what I want to do with that, and it took 3 pages. There it is there. And then I got back onto July, and it's Tuesday, July 29th. So the way I wrote that in here was I had my July was pages 9 and 10, and I just put a comma, and I picked it up again on page 14. So I just wrote 14 in there. Organize the House was pages 11 to 13. So that's what I like about this journal, is because a thought can pop into your head and you can just write it down and just go on the next page. You don't have to leave so many pages and go, okay, well over here I'm going to write ideas down. I just like that it just kind of flows along in the book. Then, of course, the next day, I had a thought about doing a brand new cage for our guinea pigs and the bunny, and this was going to be so cute. I was so excited to do this. I wrote down all my supplies and sizes and everything, and then unfortunately, I started pricing things here, and it's just really expensive. My brother-in-law works for a building supply company, and I said, how much for a 6-foot piece of 2x2? And he said, oh, they're like $2. I'm like, oh, great, that's good to know, because here they're $9. So it was a little frustrating, you know, pricing things out and realizing it was going to be way too expensive to build this. But it's in here, and I'll have it some other day when I can, you know, try again and build it. Then, so July was over, we moved on to August, so I did, again, the month at a view. And then this is my task list, so these are all things I wrote down. I put the One Direction concert at the top, and then a few things down. I wrote our 18th anniversary. So, yeah, my priorities. Okay, so this is, you know, August. And then, again, I didn't start into the days of the week in August. I went into our closet and organizing ideas. And I've numbered the pages, and I have it back in my table of contents. So I've got my month view, my task list, and then I have our closet organization ideas, and then you'll see that I move on page 21 and 22, and then 27, 28, 29, and 30th for August so far. So our closet, I want to reorganize our closet, but what I have to do first is get a light in our closet. Our light's been burnt out for many, many months, and I'm tired of using a flashlight, so I finally talked to our landlord and said, can we just, you know, get an electrician in here, because we haven't had a light. So he's like, of course. So hopefully that's going to happen this week, and then I can get in there and pull my closet apart. I want to redo my entire closet, and I'm not going to have organizing bins or anything like that, but I just really need to go through my clothes and what I really do wear and what I don't. Then I got into the days of the week and the tasks that I was doing for August. Then, again, something else comes up, and I start thinking of other things to write down. So this is my master packing list, and this is stuff that I was packing and considering for taking on our trip to Boston. And I figured, well, why don't I just add everything that I could possibly take with me on a trip and make it my master packing list. So that's on these 2 pages. Then I have our Boston trip and spending, and I covered up all my spending. But I just wrote down, you know, roughly what we did that day and what we had spent, because I had to track it for coming back to Bermuda for customs and stuff. And it was also because I wasn't keeping up on my travel journal when we were away. So I figured if I just write some notes of what we did, then I can always go back and catch up on my travel journal. Then I got back into August and things that I had to do for August. And I did really well. I did 2 consecutive pages of the month of August. You can see there's a lot of things that I've had to do. Tidy my desk, you know, put luggage away, it's always on there. Things I do get done and things I don't. But it's you know, nice to see when I do get some stuff, you know, crossed off and filled in. And then I decided to build a wardrobe. So there was a woman I saw on Pinterest the other day, and I think it's called Putting Me Together. I believe that's what her site is. And she has a blog, and it has, you know, starting a wardrobe from scratch, and she talks about what colors do you want and what patterns do you wear, and, you know, what neutrals and what accent colors do you want to wear. So I'm starting to figure that out, and then I'm going to do some kind of shopping list of things that I, you know, want to put in my wardrobe. And then this was yesterday. This, for example, bullet journal, video, so film, yes I did, and upload, I haven't done that. And I had this filmed yesterday, but I just kept messing it up, so I decided to reshoot it today. So I just colored in the square halfway, just because I'm halfway done doing that. I'm halfway done cleaning my craft room, and I'm halfway through the laundry. Catching up on travel journal, I didn't get done, so I moved it on to today. Make a host schedule. What that is I find I do one big host work a day, or sorry, a week, and it just, by the time I get to that day, the host is just a disaster, and it's just too much to do. And right now our house is usually about 800 degrees, so it's just too hot and too exhausting to do that. So what I want to do is make some sort of schedule and just assign certain tasks for certain days. At least that's what I've been telling myself for the past year I want to do. And then I have to list our suitcases because I bought luggage in Halifax, Bryn bought, and one of them is for Kerrigan, and then Bryn bought luggage when we were away in Boston, so Scott just needs some. So our old suitcases I'm just going to list online like a thing, like a yard sale sort of thing. And then today is our 18th anniversary, yay! We're gonna go to dinner, and then, so I still have lists of suitcases, I moved that over, finish the craft room, upload this, you know, do the rest of the stuff. I have to wash sheets and do some more laundry. So that is my day, and these are pages 33 and 34, and those will eventually go onto here. The last one I have is building my wardrobe, page 31, and I didn't realize I was gonna have it as page 32 as well. So that is my bullet journal. I love it because I love the size of it. I love the way you can think with this, and that you can do different tasks and still have important dates and important things that you have to get done, but you can also put different ideas in there, and it just, you know, flows from one page to the next. It fits great in my purse. I love it. And then this is my little pencil case. So I take this to bed every night and I sit there for a few minutes and just move my tasks over, look at the day, what did I accomplish, what didn't I. I just have two of these black pens. I have a blue one because if it's with me in my purse and I need to write notes, I usually write in blue. Just in the journal I happen to be writing in black, which is weird because I just really don't enjoy black pen, but for some reason I've taken to it with this journal. Then I have two pencils, I have an eraser and a pencil sharpener, and then I have these little post-it note little things in case I need to put notes or cover anything up like I had to with this one. So that is my bullet journal, and I enjoy it immensely. So I hope that gave you an idea of making one for yourself. So I will leave now, and thanks for watching. Alright, take care. See ya.